new hot, smoldering topics on a weekly basis. Your participation is important.
Good morning and welcome to yet another edition, and this is the Tuesday edition of the Burning Issue here on the Happy Wood of 5 FM radio on 89.9 in Lusaka and the surrounding areas. And remember, we are also live on our various partner radio stations, and our partner stations are Katete FM. They are on 103.3 in Katete, covering literally the entire Eastern Province. We are also live in Kawe, and covering the Central Province is Spice FM, and that is on 91.1, and ZFM in Kapiri and Porshi on 100.3 FM. And also on the Copper Belt, we are live and precisely in Ndola on Platinum FM radio, that is on 90, and covering the rest of the Copper Belt. We are also live on Tuta FM in Mansa, covering the rest of Luapula province. And we are grateful that you, as our partner radio stations, are carrying this program live on your various platforms. We are grateful. We will definitely later on in the course of the program invite you, our listener, to call in and interact with our guest. Let me also emphasize that we are live on our Facebook page, and that's 5FM Radio Zambia. And I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. Now, today we are privileged to host the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Mrs. Subeta Mutelo. Good to have you, and welcome to this edition of the Burning Issue, Madam.
Thank you, Zachariah. Thank you for having the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise this morning, and good morning, listeners.
Great. How is the ministry?
The ministry is well.
And your office?
My colleagues make fun of me.
All right.
They call me the last born.
In the ministry?
No. My colleagues, the fellow permanent secretaries.
Oh, okay.
They call me the last born because we are the last ministry to be established the past 4 years.
Literally, I can imagine
so
that.
I tell them I'm no longer a baby. Now we are running.
Yeah.
We are not crawling.
And changing lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I tell them we are no longer small, we are medium. And soon we want to grow as large as we can.
Great.
Yeah. Otherwise, all in all, we are very well and moving.
And thanks, PS, for joining us. To begin with, since the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development was created in 2021, what was the core vision behind its establishment?
Thank you. Our mandate as a ministry is basically to foster the development of SMEs and cooperatives in the country. And that is in the Gazette notice of number 1123 of 2021. And this is related to subject such as developing of cooperatives, small and medium enterprises incubation, small and medium enterprises that the SMEs and cooperatives are receiving from the loans and the credit schemes. And the fourth function that we have as a ministry also is to ensure that the enterprise policy and the cooperatives policy are developed according to the. And so we are happy that that is already done as we speak. And the last function that we have as a Ministry of MSME is to ensure that the SMEs themselves are developed. So, yes, we were established under the Government Gazette Notice number 11-2023 of 2021.
Now, PS, what are some of the empowerment services she offers?
Well, the empowerment services that we have from the ministry are not coming from the ministry. And this is where the problem is, Zach, because
yes.
We've got a lot of SMEs and cooperatives literally coming to the PS's office and say, I have come to get a loan. I want a loan from your office because I know that you give loans. But then the Ministry of SME, like I have elaborated, our mandate is to ensure that you as an SME and the cooperative are developed. Okay, and ensuring that we handhold you to foster your development, your growth, your scaling up. Okay, so the ministry has got, I would say, two institutions or babies that fall under the ministry, which are Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission and the Cooperatives College. So the loans that we give at the Ministry of MSME are implemented by the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. So what does the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission offer? They do offer a range of empowerment programs, such as loan products aimed to promoting inclusivity of the SMEs to ensure that there is economic growth. So that is the first thing that you need to understand as an SME. The loan product that we are giving you is to ensure that you grow, to promote, and also remember that your work as an SME from the loan products that you are receiving from the Ministry of SME through CEC are to ensure that you help in the economic growth of this country. That is number one. The second one is to ensure, as Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, that there is job creation. So how is Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission through the ministry creating jobs? The loans we are giving you, we are reminding you earlier that you are supposed to be part of the economic growth, right? So when we give you a job, it means we are creating jobs for you to scale your production so that the economy is also thriving on the value addition that you're adding to the economy. And also, the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission ensures participation in key economic sectors. Now, their president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has been talking about value addition sector. Remember, we are talking about the sectors of the economy.
Right.
Value addition, meaning as a ministry, we need to ensure that there is promotion of industrialization, there is promotion of value addition, which is manufacturing, I must say. And earlier I also mentioned that the ministry is not only having the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission as its baby, but also the meaning that this cooperative college also is ensuring that all the cooperatives in the country are undergoing training through the cooperative college, because it is only of a cooperative is not just a FISIP issue as it's been, the agro input, okay? But a cooperative must be an entrepreneurship kind of thing. And so from the implementing agency, CEC, the interventions are targeted mainly at ensuring that the micro, small, and medium enterprises and the cooperatives and other valuable but productive groups are also benefiting from these funds that we are giving the women, the youth and the women, and also persons with disabilities. So these are some of the things that we are doing at Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. And also, in addition, allow me to mention that these targeted interventions, the Commission continues to offer a broad portfolio of financial products, particularly in the project finance. Now, this is a situation where an SME comes to the ministry and say, I've got a project that I need to run with, and I want you to help me with this project because I don't have funding. So that we call project finance. Remember, government is also helping the SMEs through Ministry of Infrastructure, where we are saying all the roads being constructed in the country must attract that 20% given to the small businesses.
Yeah.
Remember?
Right.
Yes. So that 20% must practically fall under the Ministry of SME. So when you are given that contract and you do not have money, you come to the ministry through the implementing agency and tell them Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Infrastructure through the main contractor that is developing the Dio Carriageway into Ndola has given me a 2-kilometer road, but I do not have capital. So we'll ask you to bring that contract to the CEC, and we'll be able to fund you. And that is what we call project finance. And there are also times that our small businesses, such as suppliers, they have orders, but they do not have the funding. So we ask them to give us that order. We read it, confirm that, yes, this order is valid, and this person is supposed to do a supply by this date. We should be able to procure those products that they're supposed to supply, either at the mine or government institution or wherever it is, we procure those equipment or whatever it is that they're supposed to supply and deliver for them. And once they are paid, then we get our money back. And also remember that these loans that the implementing agency is giving are only ranging, Zachariah, from 5% to 12%, very different from the private sector.
Right.
Why have we done that as government? Because we are a creation to cushion the challenges that the SMEs and the cooperatives in the country are facing, right? So we cannot compete with the private sector lending rates. We have to make sure that we are at the level at a common man can be able to benefit these loans. Now, not only that, the implementing agency has also seen the empowerment of marketeer booster loans. Now, these loans for marketeers are not targeting marketeers that are in areas that are not designated trading areas. That is why you saw last year when there was issues of people getting to Soweto market, we said you need to go back, because if you do not go back into shelters,
Yeah.
we will not be able to give you the fund. You will not benefit from this empowerment fund. Why do we do that? We want to make sure that every marketeer who is benefiting from the Citizen Economic Empowerment Fund are able to be located. We
Right.
don't want to give you a fund. Today, you're operating from Lottie House. I've seen a lot of SMEs along the
Downstairs.
corridor.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm happy they are selling, and they're, of course, in a shed. But we don't want to see them where they are. We want to see them at a stand. Because if we give you today, you're selling from Lottie House corridors, okay? We give you a 5,000 kwacha. Tomorrow we'll come to find out how your business is doing, and we'll be told, oh no, bamake mpundu banachoka hapo pano balimanja kufindeko house. So you go to Findeko house along the corridor, you find her and you ask her, why have you moved from there? No, kuja kunalibe business, so tabwela kuno kufindeko house, and alama zatu zame munatenga bwanje. They'll say, no, nizapitiliza kulipila manje mwanipeza pameni pezeka. They'll give you all those stories. Next time you go to Findeko house, no, bamake mpundu banachoka hapo manje bali ku Evelyn Horn paja pageti. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we want to see is that all these funds that the SMEs marketeer booster loans are benefiting from, they must be in designated areas where we can be able to locate them, where we can be able to help offer capacity building. The capacity building, I mean, Zachariah, is that when a marketeer is on a stand at Soweto Market, we'll be able to go there to hear them out. They'll give us the challenges. No, this time there's no business. We think it's because of this and this and that. That way, even as a ministry that is established to help them to scale up, we'll be able to understand the challenges that the SMEs, the micro, the medium, and the small are experiencing. If we do not have a proper connection with people who are found in the right trading areas, we will have a problem to help our SMEs curb the challenges that they are facing, or also implement the mitigations that we need to implement to help them. Besides the marketeer booster loan, we've got what we call the Busulu. Now, the marketeer booster loan, Zachariah, ranges from as low as a box of tomato, which would be 300 kwacha. Remember, you, Zachariah, you say, what is a 300 kwacha? But somebody that is selling in Soweto really wants that 300 kwacha to buy a box of tomato and sell their tomatoes. So it ranges from even 50 kwacha up to 10,000 kwacha. That's a marketeer booster loan. So from 10,000 kwacha to 50,000 kwacha, we call those Busulu loans. These Busulu loans are to those who've got maybe a small makeshift by their home. We've seen a lot of tuntembas now attached to wall fences in these communities where we go to, and those Busulu booster loans are really helping these makeshift traders entrepreneurs. They're able to order groceries from Freedom Way in those big shops and take them to their homes to sell, so that somebody doesn't get on a bus to go to town to go and buy their groceries, but can simply buy from a nearby shop near their community. So this is what we have done, and these are the products that the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, as an implementing agency, has been doing under the Ministry of SME.
Great. Let's talk numbers and progress in that sense. I mean, since its establishment, the ministry, are you able to tell us how many SMEs have benefited from government interventions under your ministry this far, whether it's financing, training, and indeed capacity building? Do you have statistics?
As of August, Zach,
Hmm.
the ministry has approved 83 small businesses up that came in, and these funds have been disbursed 255,664 kwacha to beneficiaries ranging from 74,905 marketeer booster loans, like I said.
Yeah.
So remember, these marketeer loans are not only in Lusaka. Many of the bigger markets in the country, we have been there to help the SMEs. We've been to Chisokone Market. We've been to Masala Market. We've been to Chililabombwe trading areas.
Hmm.
We've been to Soweto Market. Soweto Market was actually the first. We've been to many huge markets that we can help with. And we've been to Nakonde as well. What we are trying to do is ensure that each and every market is able to benefit from the marketeer booster loan. So us offering benefits to 74,900 marketeers, that is not a small number, Zach.
Hmm.
This simply tells you that there's a lot of marketeers that have benefited, and it's not only 24,905 marketeer booster loans that have gone to these marketeers is valued at 154 million kwacha. You see?
Hmm.
So what we are trying to say, which we'll get back to, is that if we say 154 million kwacha has gone to the marketeers, let the marketeers remember that this 154 million kwacha is a revolving fund for all the markets across the country. So what happens here is that if we give, for example, Soweto Market 154 million kwacha to the marketeer, remember that as they are paying back, we should take this money to Chisokone Market. We should take it to Masala Market. We should take it to Nakonde Market. The reason why we want this to be a revolving fund is because government shall not continue to give the implementing agency funds for all citizens to benefit when you're not paying back.
Right.
Because what if today government says, we have given you, the ministry, so much funds, we're not going to give you anything? It means we are not going to work. So it's very important that everyone out there, every marketeer that has benefited from this 154 million kwacha, should be able to pay back so that even other markets can benefit.
Hmm.
The Busulu has seen beneficiaries of 7,627. This is amounting to 83 million kwacha, and 1,300 approved enterprises under the project and trade finances, which is valued at 1 billion kwacha. I'm talking about 2021 to 2024, because what we have given in 2025 has not yet been tabulated for me to come and discuss with here, but I'll give you more insight as we
Right.
go.
Right.
So out of these 83,832 beneficiaries, we are looking at 42,679 who are women.
Hmm.
Just wow. 42,600 women, and 21,662 were youths. 18,673 were men. 818 were persons with disabilities. Remember, we are saying, as a Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, implementing agency for the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise, nobody must remain behind. We've included citizens, meaning everybody in the country that is a citizen with a national registration card, the green national registration card, can benefit from these funds. So all this is part of what the ministry has done in the past 4 years. Remember, we are not only a ministry that is looking at implementing this fund that is empowering citizens. We are a policy ministry. All this that we are doing cannot work without policies. So between 2021 and 2023, we've been able to produce the policy for MSMEs. We've been able to produce the policy for the cooperatives. Now, these policies are simply a direction of how we are going to work and ensure that our SMEs and cooperatives are properly taken care of. There's a proper business environment out there. It's the policy that will drive us to ensure that that is in place. The SMEs and the cooperatives are being protected. It is the policies that are going to help us to do that. So this is what we have done in the past 4 years, and I believe you are also surprised that I'm giving you figures as I have. But this is reality, and this is what has happened. It's just unfortunate that I feel like we have very less coverage of what we are doing as a ministry, but I'm happy that in the recent past, we've been invited to so many radio stations to come and elaborate what the ministry has done the past 4 years.
Right. Let's move to an item that really has been a concern for entrepreneurs in terms of access to affordable financing. Other than the fact that you've stated that most of your interest rates are very low, what other progress have you made in that area?
Well, to ensure that there is recovery of these funds that are going to the SMEs,
Right.
we have ensured, first to start with, when the ministry was established, I remember when the president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, was swearing me in, he said to me, "Madam, we need to ensure that the SMEs, as far as Kapota, Shangombo, and the Feathers place that you can get to, those people benefit because they are citizens." Okay? And so that is one of the challenges that we have had. But with having the officers in all the districts of the country, more than 5 officers in a district, we are able to ensure that these loans are covering as far as Kapota, Shangombo, and Mwinilunga, or wherever it is that the beneficiary is. Now, the president secondly said, "I don't want a situation where a micro comes to the ministry and says they want a loan, and we tell them, can you give us collateral? Can you give us a vehicle?" How can a micro business, such as the people that are selling vegetables along the street, produce collateral for them to get a 5,000 kwacha? It's not just possible. And so we have ensured that collateral conditions are set by, of course, financial institutions.
Okay.
But how are we helping these SMEs as a ministry? Because we are established to ensure that their businesses are running and not to kill them down. Okay? So we've made that very easy, in that if you want a marketeer booster loan,
Right.
ranging 550 kwacha to, of course, there's nobody that has come for a 50 kwacha. I'm just trying to give an example of the loan that we can give, to 10,000 kwacha. What we tell them is, go back where you are coming from. For example, they are coming from Copperbelt, from Kitwe district, okay? And they say, I'm coming from maybe Central Ward, because they are at Sokone Market, maybe Central Kitwe Ward, as a marketeer. We'll ask them to go to their councillor, who write to us, introducing that marketeer, okay, and put a stamp of a councillor to say that, yes, this person, I know them, and they operate from Chisokone Market, and their confirmed NRC is this, and their phone number is this, and they reside at such a house, meaning that house is within the Kitwe Central Ward.
Okay.
You get my point, right? Yeah, so that has made things easy for SMEs. Only that surety by a councillor telling us that, yes, this person resides in my ward, and this is a stamp that I'm stamping, because a councillor is one leader that undergoes oath. So we expect them not to lie to us.
But what do you do in this case where a house is not in the same ward
locality
as
as
to
the
where?
trading place? You simply you go to where you. Councillor should be able to give you that introductory letter, which we'll look at and we'll be able to give you. All we need is proof of where you are staying, because we have seen very low repayment rates, and
Yes.
we are trying to be as careful as we can because, of course, the president that cares so much about the SME says, I don't want you to bother my the micro and small and medium businesses because these are backbone of the economy of the country. And so you are here to help them. So if the president loves his SMEs so much, what are we going to do to ensure that his SMEs are taken care of and the economy is moving? We need to come up with some very good conditions that are going to help them to thrive in their businesses. So this is what we are doing. And for those that are really want to borrow a lot of funds, such as 1 million kwacha, our belief and trust is just what they are bringing to us as an order,
Right.
which is very difficult. We are trying by all means to ensure that these SMEs are benefiting from this fund, which is theirs. So if we trust you as an SME, depending on the order that you bring to us, and we call to verify that that order is valid, you should only pay us back when you're paid that fund that you've been given as an order. Once you're paid, pay back. Because when you pay back, you come back for even more than 1 million kwacha. And what that does, Zach, is that you begin to create a confidence,
Yeah.
one in the lending institution, two in the business partners that you're dealing with. Because if you come today and you say you want a 1 million kwacha, you give us your order, we have not asked for collateral, and we give you that 1 million kwacha. You go and buy your products and you supply. Where you're supplying, they'll tick you as a very dependable supplier, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you don't pay back, remember that that 1 million kwacha we gave you, there's a bit of profit. What you got is just something that you're going to inject into your capital injection for you to produce that order and supply that order, right?
Right.
So whatever profit that you're having after that is your money. It's for your company. You decide to do whatever you want to do with it. However, where you got that money from, we need it back. Because what will happen is that when you create that confidence between you and SME and the business partners, they will even be able to give you a 2 million order. Now, if you don't pay back, how are you going to come back and say, I need a 1.5 million kwacha when
Yeah.
you have not paid us back?
Yeah.
So there is really a chain connection that we want to have between the ministry, the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission, and the SME. So it's up to the SME for them to understand what really we are here for,
Yeah.
and also ensure that we are doing the best thing that we can. And also, like I said, there's a lot of high lending rates out there, the interest rates. But because of this, we are now trying to ensure that as a ministry, we give you an appropriate interest rate for you to be able to pay back, and also for you to have a little something as a profit on top of that. So this is how we have been working as government. So
Yeah.
we are alive to the realities, actually, Zach, that the SMEs are going through. And that is why the Zambia Credit Guarantee Scheme was established in the first place, to ensure that even these loans that are going to these SMEs from the lending institutions are guaranteed. Okay. And also, this credit guarantee scheme is one that is working with the ministry hand in hand to ensure that that is working well.
Right.
You also note you will note that due to importance, we as New Dawn government have attached to this credit guarantee scheme. This is why you are seeing the 2026 budget having a 5 billion to the central bank to ensure that the credit guarantee scheme is liquid for the
Yeah.
SMEs to be able to borrow these loans from lending institutions, as well as the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. Now, you will note also that the ministry allocation to this credit guarantee scheme has increased from 150 million in 2023 to 851.7 million in the year 2025. We want to ensure that everybody out there who is an SME is able to benefit. And you know, the increase of the budgetary allocation, the scheme has since strengthened and ensured that more MSMEs are able to access these funds, like I said earlier, from commercial bank as well as the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. And this has seen capacity building of MSMEs and cooperatives to ensure that they are able to actually properly utilize these funds as they are given by the lending institutions.
Mm. This is the Tuesday edition of the Burning Issue, and I must say that so far so good in our conversations. And our guest today is Mrs. Subeta Mutelo. She is Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. Now, the fact that this ministry was only born in 2021, you're as good as an SME who obviously is not prone to challenges. You obviously have faced more challenges. I mean, are you able to share with us what challenges you could have faced or still facing, especially in making sure that your core mandate is fully executed?
Yes, from 2021,
Yeah.
September, when we established ZAC, it hasn't been a smooth ride. It's been a roller coaster. You sometimes feel you're doing your best, and next thing you feel, what did we just do?
Yeah.
We haven't done well.
Yeah.
Let's polish this section of the portion that we haven't done very well. So indeed, yes, there are a lot of challenges that we have faced, and one of them I would mention is lack of the database. Now, remember, 97% of the registered companies in the country are actually small and medium enterprises.
Right.
That is huge, very huge. We are only dependent on the PACRA registration
Right.
database. We do not have our own. And as a ministry, we are supposed to develop our own database that we can depend on rather than us going to PACRA all the time to go and ask for a database, asking them who has grown from micro to medium and then small to whatever. We need to have our own database which will be able to monitor. If today 10 small businesses, micro, have been registered, we should be able to follow them up, understand their challenges, help them to grow. And in the next 1 or 2 years, we should be able to say the micro have grown into small. So we migrate them, right? We graduate them.
Right.
When we graduate them, there's another team that is looking at the small businesses within the ministry and the implementing partners to say these are now small, they've graduated from medium. How did they graduate? We document all those issues. We document the challenges that they were having when they were in the micro portion. And as they are in the small, we are also monitoring them. Once they grow into medium, we again graduate them into medium. And once they graduate from medium to large, we hand them over to commerce. What we want to see is that the SME sector is growing. When we monitor the SME growing, then we'll be able to say the Ministry of SME is doing very well, because we'll be able to document how many SMEs we started with and how many we've graduated to hand over to commerce. That is what we want to see. How can we do that? Only if we have, of course, working towards that, and we are very hopeful. Complete the 2026, we should be able to have our own database, because this database fund was actually given to the Ministry of SME, and we are only waiting for us to begin to putting the information together. Accredited providers of service development services. Now, when you look at the business development services, these are service providers who are supposed to be across the country. Every country has that. So we have tried to train these business development service providers together with the UNDP, our collaborating partner, who's really helped us to ensure that the ministry is thriving. We have done that to see how best we can be sending these business service providers to the SMEs to help them to cure the challenges that they are having, and also mitigation processes that we can bring into the SMEs to ensure that their businesses are running smoothly. You know, SMEs in our country, Zach, I'm sorry to say that many of them do not even know what profit is. They do not even know what they're supposed to spend.
Right.
This is why we are seeing a lot of businesses falling, because they do not differentiate between capital fund and profit. So they end up eating into their capital and their business is going down. So we need these business service providers to ensure that the SMEs are understanding the books that they are running, understanding their businesses.
Right.
They are loving their businesses. Remember, you don't just wake up and say, I want to go and sell fritters. You need to understand the process of you a mixture of fritters, and people should come back because your mixture is definitely doing well. I'm one addict of one lady that sells at house in the morning after dropping my son at school. I buy some fritters there. Why? Because she understands her business. She knows how she's supposed to mix her flour mixtures
Right.
for customers to come back. The sweetener is not also extreme. It's all right. And so we need to teach the SMEs how to love their business, to know their business, and grow their business. Who can do that? The ministry alone is not enough. So there is these business development service providers that we have trained as a ministry who now go out there as consultants to help the SMEs.
Right.
We were lacking that, and we are still lacking that because the pocket that we have is not enough to go across the country. And also the poor standards of products and services that are coming from our SMEs have also made us not thrive so much. We have tried to train them through capacity building, which we are still doing. And also, when we go into provinces to lecture our SMEs on capacity building,
Right.
we cannot get the whole province to come to where we are providing the capacity building because it costs a lot of money. And it's been difficult because we cannot manage to have huge numbers,
Yeah.
provide lunch for them, pay for the facilities where we are and things like that. I'm also happy, let me mention, that we have seen a number of SMEs in the country, such as the radical entrepreneur, Dumisani Ngube, who's done very well to meet the SMEs across the country and also teach them the best practices that entrepreneurs can
Yeah.
conduct themselves with. The last challenge that we have had is limited access to affordable finance by the SMEs due to high lending or interest rates. You'll note that Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission from 2021 did not even receive any funding. So the new Dawn government came into government in 2021. That was September. So that whole 2021, there was no funding from government. In 2020, they only received less than 20 million, which was not enough. So it's now that the government is really putting SMEs first, in that from not being funded as an implementing agency
Mm.
to receiving 392 million kwacha, which is a plus. And we thank the president for fighting for that the SMEs should have this fund. This fund, even if we say it's 400 million, it's 500 million in 2026,
Yeah.
it is not enough because, like I mentioned earlier, 97% of the registered businesses are small and medium enterprises. So really, this money is not enough to cater for everybody. So the accessibility of this fund to cater for all the SMEs in the country is inadequate, and that has made us have challenges in helping.
Your quick thoughts on these two questions that I have to ask you. There is a high default rate in loans across empowerments, and what are you doing to actually address that? But also, SMEs often complain about bureaucracy and difficulties in registration, licensing, or indeed anything else to do with just them successfully, getting their empowerment.
Mhm.
So, what reforms has your ministry taken to ease these processes in doing business? And also, a quick one in addition to that: are these loans that you are giving, for example, marketeers, insured? Considering calamities often occur, and you did make mention some of the markets, Chisokone market, Masala, they have most of the times uh, experienced almost every after 2 years they experience fire and so on, and these would be genuine excuses by marketeers that look, their businesses definitely was bent down, and so they can't pay back. So just bring us up to speed on how safe those funds are.
Thank you very much. I will start with the mindset, Zach.
Right.
Our SMEs do not have a proper mindset that benefits their businesses to grow. I mentioned earlier that you help an SME on the street. Today, they are Lottie House. Tomorrow they're at Findeco House. The other day they've had no Katunjila Road is full of business. They move there. So they need to understand their business, like I said earlier. And also the capacity building that we are giving them is trying to see how best we can help with the mindset.
Okay.
So mindset is one biggest issue that we have, and key influencers towards the high default rates of these loans. Because if you are going to be a nomad in your business, you will never grow your business. I just gave an example of one lady that makes fritters at a corner in Independence Avenue.
Right.
Really, that person is there all the time, whether there is business or not. So you need to have a mindset of developing yourself first. You love your business,
Right.
know your business, and want to grow your business. Only then, when you have that mindset, will you be able to grow. You cannot be a nomad selling things all over town. It will be difficult for you to even establish your business where you are found. So that is one of the key influencers that is hindering on the loan repayments. And now, firstly, the most important thing to state is that non-repayment, or SMEs that are listening now, non-repayment is actually undermining the growth of this ministry. The president sought it right to establish this ministry for you as micro, small, and medium enterprises or entrepreneurs that are small in the country. This ministry was established for you. It was established for you so that we create a proper business environment for you. But if you come to us and say you want to get a loan to grow your business, we give you that loan and you do not pay back, this ministry will not survive. And it's a flagship of the president. This is the first ever ministry that is being established for the SMEs. So what the president wants to see is an SME that is very committed, the way he committed himself to establish this ministry. So if you are going to come and borrow fund from the ministry and you do not pay back, you are simply telling the president we do not appreciate. Yes, many will say, but I have not benefited. I don't even see how you give these loans. These are some of the things that we are going to talk about as we go. So if the president has established this ministry under the new Dawn government, and you, the SMEs, are benefiting and you're not paying back these loans significantly, then you're undermining the ministry's ability to empower even other citizens. Now, each defaulted reduces the capacity of the fund. You understand?
Yeah.
Even the 500 million. And tomorrow we are given the 500 million. But of the previous 500 million that were given first, we've got a repayment of 250 million. It means at that particular time, we have 750 million. So how many people are going to benefit from the repayments and the new fund that is coming in?
Right.
So what we are seeing is that deserving entrepreneurs, especially those that are in the rural areas, okay, and underserved communities, they cannot benefit because you people who are very close are here in Lusaka to the ministry or the Copper Belt, you are able to just walk to the institution and borrow fund. You are hindering those other ones that are in the rural areas. So when you've got the privilege for you to get this fund at first, pay back so that we can move even to the next geographical area for them to benefit from. That money is not just for one person. So if you're not paying back, it means the ministry will not move to the next level to go and give those that are in the far areas for them to benefit. Now, the Economic Empowerment Commission, my ministry has also implemented default loan recovery mechanisms, which citizen economic empowerment begin to do what we are calling the Tamanga Tuesday. So the Tamanga Tuesday means that everyone that is in the loan department must move out of their office every Tuesday. Either you move out to go to Soweto Market and request that those that have borrowed the fund begin to pay back, or you sit in your office, your phone loaded of talk time, and you begin to call the people that have benefited one by one and begin to understand what challenges they are having. Remember, like I said earlier, The ministry is not here to kill the small businesses. We are here to ensure that they develop, because that is our mandate. So even when you have borrowed money, we don't want to come to you and tell you we are taking you to court because you have not paid back. We are going to call you, and when we call you, do not cut our phones. We want to hear what challenges you are having and how best can we help you. We'll talk about this as we go, Zach. This has seen a lot of good rapport between the ministry
Yeah.
and the citizens out there that have borrowed money, because now we are having town hall meetings. We need to understand what your challenge is.
Right.
We cannot come to tell you we are taking you to court when you tell us I'm only having 7 hours of uh, um, electricity or power, and I need to value add. I need I'm in manufacturing.
Yeah.
We need to understand, and we understand you telling us I cannot pay back because I'm only working 7 hours instead of 20 hours. We'll
Yeah.
ask you, what more can we do for you? You get my point? And you come out to tell us, I want solar for me to continue to work 24 hours or to continue to work 20 hours, or I need a genset, or I need this and that. We need to interact
Right.
with the ministry and the citizens out there. So this is what we are doing, and this, I'm pleased to report, as of June 2025, the loan repayment rates have actually increased and showing a 74% where we stand, showing a clear progress towards what we are doing, and targets of 80% by the end of the second quarter of 2025. We want to ensure that by 2025 December, we are talking 80%, because from March, the ministry has not been given the Citizen Economic Empowerment Fund. How have we survived? We are surviving through the repayments. So those that are repaying, we are very grateful that you're doing that, and you're following what the steps that have been given before you, the regulations that you're supposed to follow, and you're helping the ministry to grow, because then we are also able to give those that are applying for these funds. Now, to also enforce repayment and safeguard the public resources, we have ensured that we set up various recovery mechanisms. So I mentioned of the town hall meetings, which are very important, and they've really helped us to ensure that we set up litigation measures which are going to see the defaulters that we have spoken to and are unable to pay back through the town halls, and they're refusing. We're putting up litigation measures, because we cannot come to you and tell you pay back the money, and you cannot pay back the money without a reason. We bring in the lawyers to see how best they can collect that money for us. And when you fail still, we'll now take you to court. Because remember, this fund is not for government. It's a taxpayer's fund. It's
That's right.
coming from people that are working, and we are paying taxes to ensure that our SMEs in the country are empowered. So if you're not going to pay back, Mr. Zach will get upset and say, look, Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise, I'm paying so much taxes to you people, so that the person that is selling downstairs can be able to benefit from this fund. But look what you're doing. You're not collecting back the money. So I want to stop paying. So we will see such kind of challenges as we go if we do not ensure that we pay back. So we have also rolled out the nationwide transformation, which I'm talking about, the capacity building,
Right.
which has seen 6 provinces undergo capacity building. We are remaining with only 4 to finish. We have also intensified on the monitoring of projects and handhold the beneficiaries to ensure that their businesses are growing. I gave an example of somebody that would say, I'm only having 7 hours power, so I'm unable to work the 20 hours that I'm supposed to be working.
Yeah.
So we are trying to see how best we can help them to grow their businesses. The other day I was asked by a journalist, so if somebody got a loan for 1 million kwacha, and they're saying I have power deficit, and you tell them we're going to buy you the industrial genset, are you just giving it to them, or you're giving it to them as a loan? It has to be a loan, because we are trying to boost your finances. So even as you are saying you're only working 7 hours, we want you to work 20 hours, so that your profits, your profit margins can grow, and also you're able to pay back that fund that you owe the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. We have also implemented a program that we are calling the Tamanga, which I mentioned earlier,
Right.
that all CEC employees need to work with, to ensure that recoveries through physical visits and phone calls and so forth, engaging the beneficiaries, is done. Above all this, Zach, we can only say that we need a serious mindset change
Right.
that can help our SMEs to grow in the country. We cannot go on with this kind of a mindset where you want to borrow the funds and you cannot pay back. And it makes me very sad because every time the president is addressing uh, uh, even in parliament, he is saying we have a problem with paying back loans. And I remember his statement just last month in parliament. He said, if you know that you want to borrow funds to keep, please do not borrow. Let those that want to use the fund to grow their business and contribute to the economic growth of the country, create jobs and also bring wealth to the people, borrow the fund, because it doesn't make sense, Zach. I'm just at home, I'm not doing any business because I know that I can get a loan, I can write a good business proposal. I do a business proposal knowing that I will not pay back this fund. It is very, very unfair on the taxpayer as well as those that really mean business when it comes to small businesses.
Yeah. Let's speak to the bureaucracy that has always been a complaint around registration and licensing with your ministry.
Yeah. Now, the ministry has introduced reforms to aid the registration of the cooperatives and also directly under our ministry. We have seen the digitization, of the registration process for cooperatives. Now, I'm talking about the cooperatives. Remember, we are talking about SMEs and cooperatives.
Yeah.
It's too much of SMEs.
I
Even
know.
cooperatives are SMEs.
That's right.
Yeah. So we have seen the digitization of what we call the government business service bus, the GSP, the government service bus.
Yes.
This government service bus is an online platform that the SMEs use or the cooperatives use to register their cooperatives. So you will not find a situation where a cooperative is trying to register their cooperative and we are telling them that you have to do it manually, you have to move from Kaputa to come to Lusaka for you to register. They are able to register where they are using either the district officer that we have in that locality, a district, or maybe just on their phone. They're able to do that and will process that certificate from Lusaka and will approve it. And all they have to do is receive it via an email that they put up there or even a WhatsApp that they registered, the WhatsApp number, and they'll be able to just print out and begin to carry on with their businesses. We have also decentralized the issuance of licenses to provinces, like I am saying now. So if you're in a district that maybe we cannot reach, we'll be able to send your document to the district officer who helped you to register, and you'll be able to receive the certificate. We have also trained our provincial officers and district staff on navigating through the digital licensing platform to reduce the bottlenecks in the registration processes of either SME or whatever. I'm sure you have seen even Zachariah is now online. We are saying everything should be digitalized. So the bureaucracy will not be there because everything now is going digital, and we are happy that Smart Zambia has really helped government in terms of this registration, online registration, payment of taxes and everything, registration at PACRA, all those things are digitalized. So really the bureaucracy is not there. When it comes to issues of loans and applications, we have also gone digital. So today, if you feel like applying for a loan, Zach, all you do is go to www.cec.org.zm. When you go there, you'll be able to see which categories are open at the particular time.
That's right.
And you will note that the order finance or project finance is not closed because those are ongoing applications. When you open the website, you will see only a few categories. You see the agri-mechanization open. So to ensure that everything is done online, depending on where you are, the section, province where you are, and the applications, we want an equal redistribution of these empowerment funds. So if you apply late, Zach, do not complain to say, no, I've been applying, but I've never gotten anything. You need to continue to check on what is happening on the site. And like I said, the has got officers in all the 116 districts. So whether you've got an online application or you're unable to use the gadgets for you to apply, you can simply go to the office of the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise or the DEC in your district and ask them to give you a form which you can fill in. You can apply as long as you know they tell you that what is open is this category and this sector. You should be able to make your application, leave your application there, and we will be able to receive these documents here in Lusaka at the head office. Now, also, the common question that I've been getting, sorry, Zach, the common question that I've been getting is, where are these offices located? So, all the SME and CEC offices are located at the district commissioner's office in all the districts. So if you cannot find us at the district officers, the district commissioner's office, it means we have managed to find an office that separate of our own in the district. However, still go to the district officer's office and ask where the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise and Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission offices are, and you'll be able to be helped from there.
So I was about to intervene on the fact of at the part of application. I think that the major complaint is that most people are naive. They don't know how to actually make applications, and I think that there's an issue of saying, look, I genuinely need a loan, but I don't know how to apply. And when they apply and they fail to qualify, there's no feedback from the implementing institution.
So
just so that you give feedback, say here and here you didn't do it right, so that maybe in the next attempt I could get it right.
To correct it. Now, Zach, as I speak with you, we have over 14 billion kwacha of applications in the system. 14 billion. So it's also a plea to the SMEs out there that the work that we are doing is overwhelming. Honestly, it will be very difficult for my office to respond to these applications individually. That is why you note through our engagements with the SMEs, we are always having either a press statement or a press briefing to tell the SMEs that from year 2021 to year 2022, all applications that have not received feedback have been removed from the system. Yes. So if you know that you applied in 2021 and 2022, you will then be able to say, oh, I did not qualify. But the only challenge there, I agree with you. It's very important that we agree when there is a flaw. The flaw here is that we are unable to give you the reason, or your application was not valid. It was not viable for it to be given the fund. A proposal can be viable, but you're not looking at that particular sector to fund. So if you feel you need to know more about your application, we do get letters that come through the ministry to say, my project proposal was perfectly done and I feel it deserves funding. We'll look at it personally and we'll give you feedback. So we are here for you. Don't give up. We have a lot of work to do. The fund is not enough to cater for everybody, but do not feel we have not helped you because your business proposal was not good. Maybe we are just looking at a different sector. You could have applied under agro-mechanization, and maybe we are helping the SMEs in tourism.
And I strongly believe these are some of the reasons that spike concerns from some members of the public that some of your empowerment programs mainly benefit members that are loyal to the ruling UPND, I believe.
Well, I don't think that is true. I will tell you what, Zach. Today, I've heard a lot of UPND members say the PF are the only ones benefiting. I'm sure you have heard that. I'm sure you have heard
the only thing I've heard from UPND members is that they themselves are not benefiting from CEC.
So who's benefiting? That is a question we should ask ourselves. So if the UPND members are saying they are not benefiting from the Citizen Economic Empowerment Fund, then who is benefiting? And then if the others are saying only the UPND are benefiting from the Citizen Economic Empowerment Fund, then who is benefiting? The fund comes every year. If we are given a 492 million, all that fund will come to the ministry and it will go to the implementing agency. If the implementing agency is able to give out these funds, then who is benefiting? Because the reports are there. It will also be good to remember that in we did publish a list of all those that had benefited in 2022. I think we did release that report in 2023, and there was a cry out by the people saying you cannot be publishing lists of people that have borrowed from the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. Do you know why we did that, Zach? It's just to show the people that this fund comes in and it goes to the people, but it is not being paid back. So it was at that particular time that many of the UPND members also said, we are seeing the people from the opposition on this list. And the opposition are also saying, we are seeing members from the ruling party. This fund is for the citizens. It is non-political. That is why we have said you can only apply online. So if you apply online, I don't think there's a system that has been developed to say only pick a reg number by an NRC number by a UPND member or an opposition member. There's no such segregation by the system, and you cannot even identify using the number. That is why we are encouraging digitalization for everybody to be able to apply online, and the system will not pick who you are. It will just pick the viable project and also pick as per sector, and also pick at what particular geographical area we are looking at, because we want everybody to benefit, Zach. So if we are going to say all the money that comes in, people must apply, you will see a lot of these people in the urban areas begin to benefit because it's easy for them. They're online, okay? They're also closer to the system. They will just walk to the system at CEC, use the computers there and apply. We don't want to do that. So sometimes you will note that many of the people in Lusaka or Copperbelt may not benefit a certain fund that has come because we know that they've benefited enough from this fund. So we are now beginning to look at how best even other provinces and districts can benefit. So that issue of the UPND are the only ones, or rather the opposition are the only ones, it doesn't hold water.
My guest is Mrs. Subeta Mutelo, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. I'll rush through the last two questions before I open the phone lines. Now, these ones are obviously, first let's start with this one. I mean, the Republican President, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, has been calling for formalization of the mining sector, especially artisanal and small-scale miners. How has your ministry in this case contributed to the president's agenda? It must have been of your interest, no?
And we love what we do, Zach, because we are created for those that the president is talking about. Formalization is very important. And we've been telling even the marketeers themselves to formalize. It's very important, eh? And what the ministry is doing now is to fight for a situation where a marketer is formally registered with PACRA and ZRA, they should have a special bracket to pay their formalities. Say if a marketeer's is 1,000 kwacha, they should just be able to pay maybe 20 kwacha per year. Why are we doing that? Because when a person is formalized, they've got the formal address where they are found, and they've got their business that they are doing, right? That will take a marketeer to any commercial bank, not only CEC, to go and borrow funds. You cannot walk in a bank today and tell them, I sell tomatoes and I want to get a loan. You are not formalized. So you first have to be formal. You register your business and be able to benefit from all the funds that are out there for the small and medium enterprises. Now, formalization of the artisanal. We have seen a lot of things happen even in our neighboring countries where these artisanal miners are not formalized. What happens is that those that are in those communities where the gold rush is taking place, begin to entertain people from outside the country to come with their gadgets, because they've been doing the gold mining maybe in the where they are coming from for a longer time,
Yeah.
and they understand the processes and they understand the
Right.
systems and
Yeah.
how gold is mined. So they will come with these gadgets, and what's going to happen is that these people who are coming from outside the country are not only coming with these gadgets, they are coming with protective equipment that can protect them, even guns. You know, what will that happen? What's that is going to do to us as citizens is that we begin to sell our communities to the foreigners, because they are the ones that are coming in with money to come and ask our communities to sell them the gold. So now, what that does, Zach, is that when foreigners come in to help our SMEs to begin to to mine the gold in these mining areas, that gold is going out of the country without you, Zach, and myself benefiting. So what government is saying that all these areas where there is gold rush, ensure that there is formalization. So the first step that is supposed to happen in the formalization process is that the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, through the cooperatives department, goes to these areas where the gold rush is happening and speak and sensitize these small scale miners in those areas to belong to cooperatives. Because if you've been to these areas where these artisanal miners are mining from, Zach, you will note that they are just small ditches next to each other. And on every ditch, there are like 5 SMEs they are mining. So what we are trying to say is all these ditches with 5 SMEs in it along the belt of gold must form cooperatives. So if we say a cooperative should have 50 members, or even 100 members, what we are trying to say is all of you at this community center, can you have even a membership of 1,000 artisanal miners? You know, they can actually form one big cooperative where government, through the implementing agency CEC, will be able to buy all the mining equipment that they need, the 1,000 SMEs. Very possible. And that is what we want to see. Because when they form these cooperatives, we will then help them with a proper mining equipment. We will train them with safe mining principles. We will also help them to get the detectors of the gold detectors. Right now, they don't have. They just dig anyhow, you know. So what we want is that when we formalize them, we should be able to give them all the equipment that they need for them to do the mining. Once they mine, they then get that gold and sell it to one big mine processing plant that will be put in that area for them to sell to. When they sell to that, say, ZCCMIH, who is, for example, the holding institution that is going to buy the gold from the artisanal miners in Mufumbwe and Kasempa, they should then be able to process the gold in that particular plant. Once they do that, that gold must go to the central bank. That is where we are going to see how what wealth we have as a country and what is coming in from these gold rush areas and how much gold can we sell. We want to preserve our natural resources because that is the development. That is where development comes from. If we do not follow this closely, we will lose our resources without us monitoring what is going out and what is supposed to be remaining in the country. So we need a proper monitoring of the gold that is going out. So it is very important that all artisanal miners out there are able to form these cooperatives for us to help them to have equipment and also to formalize and work in a proper manner that is not going to bring disputes amongst themselves, the killing of each other, you know, the people dying from underground and being buried because of unsafe mining. So we have to really pay attention to that and listen to what the president is saying.
This is the Tuesday edition of the Burning Issue here on 5FM Radio. Don't forget, we are also live on our partner radio stations. We are live on Katete FM, that is province. Also live in Kabwe and Central Province on Spice FM, on ZFM in Kapiri. We are live on the Dollar and also live on Tuta FM, covering Wapula province. We'll be taking your phone calls now on 0955221515. And let's see if we can have this one. Good morning.
Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Dr. Proud.
Bueno, Dr. Proud, ndifeba Ministry of Small and Medium wa PS.
Nikuziona Mutelo guys.
Ziko.
That's why I come on at PS.
Yeah, Oba Proud.
And Mukamba is going to be much money.
Thank you very much.
Now, Oba Proud, your line is not very clear. Yeah, pitirizanti mve. Yes.
Lozi English baba yalambeka. Mutelo musoveza tuno timaona pa TV. Koma ine other time na meeting one of office kuja. Ninalemba twice. Muende pa credit manager palongo ekazalo mu bafunzi. Proud. Twice nilemba. Nalemba kabusuru na manje sikachoka. We know we got to bagrogo. Manje wano ya kukanga. 240 ya kukanga. But now na kwete kuna kugade wanapita kwa maketi hapa. Ba 5 But ni karibu kuiona hiyo. Na leo nikapenga naye nizakuletea kuti ndalama zioneka but wanzanga baziona. Nawe wana pa TV wanzanga wanatenga. Sasa na kuti ngatu ya kupita zoona. Naenda twice again pale ma credit manager palomwe kaza hapa ndarimbesa again yasala kuti sitengeka usuru mwame na kudanda oriani kuja leso kusairo yanga sina sobe otherwise tia migira kuti ya present na boma ya UPND 7 and our empowerment tumazona sikuti zali na dosuna tengo CDF siwonse banga tengo for example mna mugadi we are population 60,000 then angulanga tengo CDF kuna ngoto watenga mwamene wakambira wa PS we are with you wawa
Zikom. Well, I'm glad you understand that some would get, some would not. I mean, let's see if we can take some more calls. I've got a couple of messages on our Facebook page as well. But let's see if we can take some more calls on 0955221515. That's the number you're calling us on. Let me go to quickly go to Facebook. This one here is from Mulumbeni Chilwa. Says, Madam Permanent Secretary, despite the revised National MSME Development Policy of 2023 to 2027, Zambia's SMEs still face crippling challenges, limited access to credit, poor digital adoption, and persistent informality. Why has the ministry failed to translate policy into tangible impact on the ground? Also, can you explain why, for example, over 90% of SMEs remain informal, and why tech adoption remains low despite multiple training programs? Why also has the ministry failed to deliver its promises despite receiving increased budget allocation and presidential backing? And why youth and women-led businesses continue to be excluded from meaningful support? Quite a mouthful, but take note of that. Let me take a call. Good morning.
We just announced the intercity terminology. Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are we at the terminus?
Fine.
Good.
President Ichirema attaches great importance to national development. When he has the right team like you, he needs to be supported. Whatever you are saying, yes, you are correct. We are with you. We are listening. We want to see to it that things are done in the right way. When you have a man who is spending sleepless nights in state house working, he needs a right team like you, PS. Keep on pushing. We are pushing even beyond 2026 because we are sure that President Ichirema is bouncing back. Good morning, Zach.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Maybe let's respond, because I think the text from Mulumbeni Chilwa was had the quite couple of questions. Yeah.
Yes, Zach.
Right.
It takes me back to what I said earlier. The ministry has given out, as we speak, over 1.2 billion that is with the SMEs in the country,
Mm.
and it's circulating. Fund is circulating. So remember also that we are also crying, like Mulumbeni is crying,
Right.
that you people are not giving us back this fund for Mulumbeni to benefit, right? So it is very important that Mulumbeni understands that this is a citizen's fund. If he knows anybody, which I believe he does, who has benefited from this fund, has he ever gone to that person and asked, have you paid back? Because when he's there as a monitoring person who knows that this fund is supposed to benefit many MSMEs, he should then encourage his friend to pay back. That is where this whole thing starts from. It doesn't start with the permanent secretary alone and ends with the permanent secretary alone, Zach. Even you, if you know anybody that has gotten a loan, encourage them to pay back so that everybody else can be able to get back that fund. That fund is a citizens' fund. So everybody should be a police towards this fund. We should be able to ask people we know have collected this fund to pay back. So Molu not seen women and youths benefit from this fund. Remember, I published a list. We did publish a list of names of the beneficiaries in 2022 into 2023, but there was a cry out saying we cannot do such a thing because one, that is embarrassing the people that have benefited. Secondly, it's not safe for the people that have benefited, and so okay. So we had that. Now, earlier on, I also broke down the numbers that we have been able to help with this fund. So maybe Mulumbeni missed out that. I said that from 2021 to 2024. Remember, I also said 2025 has not yet been compiled on the 200 million that we have given out from January to date. So we could add that figure to almost 100,000 as we speak. But to 2024 December, we have given out to 83,832 beneficiaries. I mentioned that, Mr.
Yeah.
Mulumbeni. So from the 83,832 beneficiaries, we are saying 74,905 are marketeer booster loans. So marketeer booster loans don't only mean women. It means everybody that has benefited from that marketeer booster loan, because even a man who is selling plastics in Soweto market, for me, when I go to buy vegetables, I need to buy a plastic from that guy that moves around selling the plastics. That person also benefited. So it's a youth, it's a women, it's the men that have benefited. We have also seen 7,627 Bosolo, which is amounting to 83 million that has gone to the SMEs. We have seen 1,300 people, beneficiaries, amounting to 1 billion, which has gone to trade finance. Now, out of all these figures that I have mentioned, of the 83,832 Molumbeni, we mentioned that the beneficiaries are broken down as 42,672 are women, 42,679 are women, 21,662 are youth, 18,673 are men, 818 are persons with disabilities. So I'm sure Mr.
So
Mulumbeni
yeah, so
missed that.
Mulumbeni also
And then he
brings in the
says,
digital aspect of
yes,
it,
he
and
says,
I think that I
he said,
agree.
yes, he says, why is there a low uptake of tech?
Yeah.
Okay, he says tech still remains low. Now, tech has a ministry that looks after the technology and
Yeah.
science,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you're aware,
Right.
which is also a new ministry that has been established. Now, in Zambia, we still remain behind with technology. Why? Because only a half pocket of people are digitalized. Only a few have got technology being used in sense of small and medium enterprises. Many of them are not using tech because they are informal, which takes me to his question of 90% remain in informal sector. Why are 90% remaining in informal sector? What we have found out, Zach, is that these people who are informal are actually thinking the moment that I register, then I begin to pay tax. But it doesn't work like that. You can be formalized and not pay tax, depending on the business that you're running. So you are not eligible to pay tax if you have not sold anything in that particular month. So these are the things that we are taking our SMEs across the country through when we talk about capacity building. They need to understand that if I have not sold anything, I need to file in a new return at every month that I have not sold anything. But if I sell something, I should pay that minimum figure that I'm supposed to pay online. If I have sold something and I pay 16% VAT to ZRA, I must simply give back ZRA that 16%. So it doesn't really mean that when you are formalized, then you are demanded of being paying taxes. No, it is not that way. So with time, we'll be able to work hand in hand and on a serious note with ZRA, so that even as we are going to these areas, we are sensitizing. We are thinking of having what we are going to call the tech bus. The tech bus is going to be a simple Marco Polo arrangement, which is going to have different types of technology in it to go around the country to ensure that our people are sensitized and they understand what they're supposed to do as we are preaching formalization.
Yeah.
People are scared to register because they think, oh my God, they are coming to the bailiffs will come and take my things because I have not paid tax. But you just have to comply. If you have sold, pay the tax. If you have not, file in a new return. Government allows that. And also, why they're in informal sector is because they have realized that even when I'm just selling tomatoes, I will be able to benefit from the fund that is coming from the ministry. But soon, the ministry also will say, we cannot give you when you're not formalized, because you cannot benefit as an informal person. So that will be one of the incentives. You formalize, you benefit. No formalization, you do not benefit. I think that will help us, Mr. Mr. Mulumbeni, to make sure that 90% now reduces to a minimum number that we will be able to be proud of. You also asked the question of limited access to finances. We've spoken about the 1.2 billion being out there according to what the ministry has received. Now, Zach, the new Dawn government is not only helping the citizens through Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission or the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises. The CDF, as of last month, was announced in the budget that it has increased to 40 million kwacha from the 1.3 or 1.5 million that the new Dawn government found it at to 40 million. Now, this 40 million kwacha, Zach, in case the SMEs do not understand, they are eligible to benefit from this fund. How are they eligible, Zach? The 40 million, 60% of this 40 million is for women and youth on empowerment fund and skill development. Meaning that if the fund comes, when the fund comes to your constituency, you should be able to apply for this 60% of the 40 million kwacha in your constituency as an SME or a startup who wants to be a carpenter. Okay, I'll be shortlisted for skills training. Once I'm shortlisted for skills training, I'm sent to school where I'm going to learn on the skills training. Once I get my certificate, I'm going to formalize my company. Remember, formalization. So once you learn, you then register a company that is formalized. Once you formalize, you then bring your certificate and your formalization documents from PACRA and ZRA at the Ministry of SME and say, I want to begin my own shop. I need equipment for me to run my business as a carpenter. And then we'll be able to give you that fund. That is how we are supposed to work and understand these things, because 60% of 40 million is a lot of money.
Yes, I still want to take you back to the newly instituted strategy, obviously interact with beneficiaries, the Tamanga Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel you could have innovated even much further by probably being able to send reminders to beneficiaries via SMS, for example. And I think that this is easier and easier to implement as well, because everybody at least can get an SMS.
I hear you, Zach. Those are some of the things that we have tried to do, and we have done it before, and we are doing now. I'll tell you a story that is very funny, I must say, because what CEC did is then send messages to beneficiaries and telling them that if you do not pay back, we'll come to your church and we'll tell your reverend or your pastor or your priest that you borrowed money and you have not paid back. There was an uproar to that. So people started calling me and saying, how would you think of going to my reverend and tell my reverend that you have not paid back? So why I'm saying that is telling you how far we have gone to sensitize our citizens to pay back the fund. So now they are saying, oh, you want to go to the reverend, you cannot do that, I'm an elder in the church, and they begin to pay, So SMS are not what we have not done. We have done that. We have sent out sensitization on social media, asking people to pay back. We have sent messages through the network service providers, asking them to remind a number of beneficiaries under their category, because when you look at how we disburse these funds, we disburse the smaller funds using mobile money. Right. So if you, Zach, are registered with Airtel or MTN or Celzi, you then benefit from that mobile network where you belong. And so we ask the mobile network to send that SMS to remind you that you have to pay back. We have also spoke to people like I am speaking to you and the people out there to say everyone should be a police person towards this fund, because it is their fund as well. It does not just begin with the permanent secretary coming to the radio and asking people to pay back, but you as a listener who knows that your neighbor benefited from this fund should be able to tell your neighbor to pay back so that you can also benefit. That is what we want to see. I don't know how best we can do it, but we have tried all avenues where we are having town hall meetings, sensitizing our people to pay back. Where they fail again, we bring in our debt collectors, the lawyers, litigation issues, just to try and ensure that the money is paid back. So, like I said earlier, we need to look at the mindset. We need to change our mindset as SMEs and inculcate this business mindset that is going to help us to grow, unlike what we are seeing currently.
Let me take some more calls on 0955221515. That's the number you're calling us on. And remember, you can also send us an SMS on the same line, and we'll be glad to hear what you have to say. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Zach. Good morning, PS.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Collins, calling you from within Lusaka.
Collins from within Lusaka. Please go ahead.
Yes, the match talk to CDF. Please, Madam PS, tell us which constituents has received the full amount.
Collins, unfortunately, we are not talking CDF. This is a PS from Small and Medium Enterprise Development. I think the CDF issue was just a response to one of our callers, but we are basically talking more about it's not. CDF is under a different ministry. I think she just belabored to respond to a CDF question. That was a by the way. Otherwise, our conversation is mainly around.
Most of us haven't seen the benefits based on the small, whatever, and even the lower whatever.
Okay.
If you would have given me chance to explain.
Unfortunately, not necessarily that we should drive the conversation towards CDF. Unfortunately, thank you. Right. So let's see if we can take another call on 0955-221515. That's the number you're calling us on. You can also send us an SMS on the same line. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning, and how are you?
Fine, thank you. Please share your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Felix Mukuka calling from Mutelo.
Mr. Mukupa.
Mukuka Felix.
Mukuka Felix. Please go ahead.
Yeah. This is Mutelo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Mr. Mukuka? Kulishan Kumatero.
Kumatero. Tureshererana ngoma like tarefangwako because of the shading. So as SMEs, we are struggling to run our businesses. This is Mutelo. I've got a question concerning the fund, CEC fund. If I want to get that money, do I need to have a collateral? And if at all, what kind of a collateral should I have? Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Felix Mukuka. And let's see if we can get some more on 0955 That's the number you're calling us on. Our guest today is Mrs. Subeta Mutelo, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises Development. Okay, let's see if we can have this call. Good morning.
Good morning, Zachary.
Morning to you. Thank you for calling. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Lungu Francis.
Lungu Francis from Kapiri. How's Kapiri?
Kapiri is fine.
Great, great.
Yes, my take on this topic today is it's like I was expecting, because I tried to apply for a loan at the TEC. Then in the past, I've been working with my partners. We are into grain export trade. So now I'm trying to find out from the PS if how are you going to support us in this sector, especially that this policy has been a start-stop kind of a policy. So the last export we did was the maize. We went to Rwanda. That was in 2017. But now, since there is this pronouncement to say we can go ahead with the export of whether meal or maize, how are you going to help us? I think that's my question for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Lungu Francis. I think let's get into it.
Thank you. I think I'll start with Mr. Lungu,
Right.
who is a grain exporter and is asking how we are going to help him in the export business. So, Mr. Lungu, you should fall under trade finance. So, if you have any grain that you're supposed to buy and export, and you've got all the documents that you have, you should visit CEC or go to Trade Finance on www.cec.org.zm. When you go there, you find a form that is labeled Trade Finance. Try to fill in that form. And also that depends on how much you're looking for, because remember, we are a small and medium enterprise businesses only.
Right.
So for you who is exporting, maybe you need 10 million or 5 million, will not be able to give you that fund. Our fund is limited from 50 kwacha, okay, to about 2 million kwacha. When we started with maybe 50 kwacha to 5 million. But due to non-repayment of these loans, we reduced the figure to 2 million kwacha. So this now takes me, I hope I've answered Mr. Lungu's question. Please visit the website and do the trade finance application. See how best you can be helped, because you fall under that. And this takes me to the question of collateral, because I've mentioned 50 kwacha to 2 million kwacha.
Right.
So from 50 kwacha to 50,000 kwacha, we do not need collateral. Or let me say to 100,000, we do not need a collateral. From 100,000 to about 500,000, all we need is your order papers, the business that you're running, and there is proof that really you are expected to sell and resell. And we need to verify if really this business or this invoice is valid. Then you'll be able to get funding without any collateral. Anything 1 million to 2 million, we need collateral. Now, remember, I said that when we started, we would not even ask for these things. And it's not specific that we need collateral even on the 2 million kwacha. If you've got an order that's valid, say Mopani Copper Mines gives you an order for 2 million kwacha, or rather you need capital injection of 2 million kwacha, and we verify with it came in maybe today or yesterday, and wants to rethink and say, let me go to CEC and get a loan. We will not give you a loan on an order that you've been holding on to for 3 months, for 1 month and plus, or even 3 weeks, because it means you're already late. Whether even when we buy that product for you to go and supply, the Mopani will not have already engaged somebody else because of the late deliveries that we anticipate. So immediately the order comes out, be quick, bring it to the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission and tell them you've got this order and you need capital injection of 2 million. You can buy me these products. Let them come under the name of CEC. I'll go and supply them, and maybe the money can be paid to CEC. Then you give me my fund and things like that. There are all
But how
avenues
quick
it's
is
very quick.
in those
This is what
lines?
I wanted to
because
say.
also because
Yes.
also it's an issue of
How long it takes.
maybe I miss
Yes.
my delivery because it takes longer on your end as CEC.
That is the thing, and
Right.
that is what I wanted to say.
Okay.
It depends on the avenues that you take. If you have an order today, Zach, and you come to the ministry and say, I've got this order, it came in yesterday. I want you people to help me with funding. We'll get that order, assess it, and verify, yes, it is valid. And we buy, say, a loader for you. Maybe you want a loader to use underground. We'll buy that loader under the name of the ministry or Citizen Economic Empowerment white book or whatever. It's being imported as a property of CEC. Once CEC brings that a loader, you take it to Mopani and supply it, right? It means the money that is coming from Mopani,
Yeah.
you agree with CEC to say, I do not have a collateral to give you, but this fund will be paid into the Citizen Economic Empowerment Commission. All you have to give me is what belongs to me. I think that can be done. It depends on how you negotiate. An SME should be able to sell themselves and create that confidence in their business environment. That is very important. So that may not take long. What takes long is a situation where you come and you tell me you've got this order, but remember, as an SME, you want fund that is going to just be a cash flow on your end. You need 2 million kwacha capital injection, and you come and tell me you want 2.5 million. I'll ask you, what's the 500,000 for? You say, no, I need to pay duty, I need to do this and that. Give us your collateral you do not have. Then we'll tell you, okay, we'll buy this thing for you, and we'll do all the processes, and we'll deliver this thing for you. Once the money comes in, we'll be able to give you back whatever you want. That order has already come out. Even if you make 2 million order, that's your luck. It's got nothing to do with this end where you're borrowing this fund. All we have to do is get the 2 million plus maybe the 10% that we charge you and give you the rest of the money. But the problem comes in when you say you want 2 million kwacha and you want us to give you cash. That will not happen. We cannot give you cash. So then you begin to negotiate, because you know that the order should only cost you maybe 1.5 million, and you want to keep the 500,000 as an already profit that you should begin to eat from. So we cannot give you that fund. We'll look at the invoices that you're giving us that you need to purchase that product, buy that for you at that same purchase, and deliver it for you. Not a situation. This has been some of the challenges that we have been facing. Process our orders quickly, or our funding quickly to the citizens, because they want, at the end of the day, tuliemo before they can apply or before they can even bring back the fund. The first mindset that an SME must look at is, let me work first. That is why you have seen even this 20% that the SMEs are being given as subcontractors. When you get that fund, you go and begin to buy things that you're not supposed to buy in the name of, I want to be mobile. So I went and bought a Toyota Hilux for me to go to site and whatever it is. You need to work first. When you work first, you create confidence with that main contractor that has given you that business. And first IPC from the 20, that is an interim purchase, interim procurement certificate.
Right.
Once that is done, you interim payment certificate. Yeah. Once you get that, then you can say, okay, now give me my 20%, or you gave me my 20%. I have worked. Now here is the IPC, and I've done more work. Then you're not owing the government anything. You're not owing the main contractor anything. You have first worked, and you're making your profit from that fund. That is when you begin to think of, let me go and buy a Toyota Hilux for me to be mobile, because you're now going into asset investment for your company, and that vehicle becomes yours. And from whatever you have invoiced and payment has come in, you continue your work. Let us stop the mindset of wanting to have cash before we work. It is a very wrong mindset, and that is what has caused all these non-repayment loans, because we want to get cash instead of establishing what really I need as an SME for me to implement or execute my business as I have been given an order or whatever it is.
Now,
Oh, and Mr. Mkuka spoke about electricity. I'm very happy to mention. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to
Okay,
cut
it's
you,
okay. It's okay.
Zach.
Yes.
The government has actually mentioned about 13, if not 20, if I'm not mistaken, communities that are going to have 11 hours electricity. And Mutelo is one of them. I'm wondering which part Mr. Mkuka is coming from, because Mutelo, Kanyama, Mandevu, Bauleni, and all these about 9 or 13 communities in Lusaka will be receiving electricity for 11 hours. So we don't want to hear that Mkuka songa ati munatenga loni yendani musebenze chabe na 11 hours electricity ameba kupasani wazesco so that you come and pay us back.
I've got Feva Kumwenda on Facebook, who repeatedly says the ministry is really doing great. Later on, he says sometimes you can get amazed at the opportunities we have as SMEs. And also he says, please offer my appreciation. So he says that I should offer his appreciation to you. But let me give you,
you.
a scenario, and I would like you to explain how this would work. So somebody got an order to supply desks under CDF, right? But they went to a lending institution, okay, offered a house and got money and delivered, and they paid back quite all right. But the question here is, how would they be accommodated? Those that would have orders under CDF, for example, supply desks, but then they get an order and come to CEC and get funding to fulfill the order. Would that work?
Yes, absolutely. That is why we are here. It's to finance those orders. It doesn't matter where they are coming from. And also allow me to say thank you to Mr. Feva Kumwenda for
Right.
that compliment. Thank you so much. It's encouraging to get such kind of compliments from citizens that have been following the ministry closely. So it doesn't matter where the order is coming from. I will tell you some of the challenges that we are having. Sometimes payments indeed are taking long. And what's good about Citizen Economic Empowerment Fund is that when you get the loan, you're not being given the loan on a monthly interest rate repayment like others do, the briefcase lenders, where you call it Kaloba. You get 10,000 kwacha today and they are charging you 20%. And every 30 days you pay 2,000 kwacha on top of that. We don't do that as a ministry. This fund is for citizens, and what we give you, the interest rate we give you, is on the lump sum that you get. It doesn't matter if it's gonna take 5 years for you to pay back. It's still at that lump sum. Nothing changes. No reductions, unless we are told interest rate and your loan finds you maybe in the middle, but we don't increase at lump sum borrowing or even along the way. We don't do that. So really, even if it's the CDF loan that you have and you're supplying this, just bring that order and tell us, I've got an order to supply 1,800 desks. We'll be able to give it to you. But also remember, when you get the money, come and pay back when you're paid.
I've got Joseph Chanda on Facebook says, good morning, PS. We, the local traders, have a lot of challenges like rental charged in Forex, influx of foreign traders, not investors, in brackets, high lending rates, etc. What is the ministry doing to help local traders to achieve more? Other countries have deliberate policies to protect its people. Now here, we are even selling clothes, steel nails, salt. Those foreigners who are trading in these are left free for all. But we wrote to your ministry concerning some of our challenges under Global Traders Association of Zambia. Thank you, and God bless you. So you should have in your office some concerning from Global Traders Association of Zambia.
Okay, I didn't get that
But
correctly.
I think his question is, do you have
why are we
deliberate
allowing foreigners to
Exactly.
trade in these places, and yet we cannot protect them to trade in salt, in chickens, block making,
So
or
he's
whatever
saying,
it is?
yeah. So he's making comparisons to other countries, like
Yeah,
other countries
who
would
don't
not allow you
foreigners.
to.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Now, what's his name again? Sorry,
Joseph
apologies.
Joseph Chanda. Yeah.
Mr. Chanda. The ministry, through the policy review that we did in 2023, talks about preferential procurement. It also talks about the local content. So the local content is an SI that is sitting under the Ministry of Mines. We are only waiting for the Minister of Mines to launch that SI. Once that is launched, we'll be able to penalize all those that are against that local content. I'll come and explain what that local content has. Now, there's an SI that we call the preferential trade, which talks about what he is complaining about. We do not want to see foreign people come to run the chicken business in the country. We do not want to see foreign people doing domestic cleaning in companies. We do not want to see foreign companies making blocks in this country. Now, that SI is very active. It's very, very active. The problem and challenges that we have seen is the substandards that our local SMEs are unable to produce compared to what the others are producing. So from the preferential SI, which is a 2021 SI, if I'm not mistaken, this SI prohibits the foreign citizens to come in this country and overshadow our local SMEs. But the challenge that we began having was that if we ask the SMEs who are block making to supply blocks, the blocks would begin to break on their own, even before the house can stand. So that gave us a lot of challenges for us to fight for the SMEs. Now, it comes back to the mindset that I talked about. If you're going to run a block making factory as SMEs or youths, do the right thing, such that even as the minister or the PS comes to fight for you, people do not say, look what your people are giving us. Even before that, we had issues of late deliveries in the mines. And I'll give an example of a mine. The mine looks at production on a daily basis. So if they give you an order for you to take, say, that is a machine needs a spare, and they tell you should bring this spare part in the next 2 weeks, and you quote X stock. X stock means you have shelf, and it takes you 6 weeks for you to deliver. Taken out that SME is unable to take that particular in 2 weeks. But when they give it to a foreigner who is an investor in the company and is able to produce those spare parts, we'll only deliver it as X stock. So how are we going to fight for you, our local SMEs, if you cannot compete competitively? We have to make sure from now on, this is why even the SME Indaba, which we are hosting on the 30th to 31st of October, is themed how ready our SMEs and cooperatives to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I'm very happy that Joseph is talking about the Global Trade
Association.
Association. That is very good, because we need to ensure that you, our local SMEs, are ready to compete, even with all these Lebanese factory, block making factories, all these supplies that are happening within the country. The government is ready to fight for you using these SIs, but you are failing us as our local SMEs because you are unable to compete. Do the right thing, give the right price, and that will be good. What we want as SMEs, like I said earlier, where I mentioned SMEs are actually from their capital and not their profits. What you want to do is produce substandard. I'm not saying every SME does that, but some of them that want to get really, which is a very wrong attitude to have towards business. You do not want to use the right quantities for you to produce the right quality block to supply at the mine or even these people that are building houses. You want to put a bit of sand, a bit of cement so that you save money, but that is jeopardizing your business and you're not going to grow because people will not come back to you to. I talked about confidence, creating confidence within your business vicinity. Dumisani Ncube talks about something very consistently. You, as Zach, you should be able to run your business where you go to anybody in the country and say, I want a 1 billion kwacha that you can lend me and I'll give it to you next month. They should be able to give it to you because they know that you're a capable person and you're a credible person. So if SMEs are not going to create credibility within themselves and their environment, their businesses, then they will not grow. We are preaching this SI preferential procurement, but they are failing us on the other side. The other SI is the SI 35, which protects all transporters across the country to be able to transport products from one area to another within the country, only to be done by the locals. Somehow, that one is also failing us because what's happening is that our transporters do not even have the rightful transport vehicles for them to do those deliveries. So what we are trying to say as a ministry is help us as a ministry to help you. Do the right thing. Ensure that your products are of quality so that even when we're defending you, we are defending what is right. So I would really like to invite Mr. Joseph Chanda to come to the office on Thursday because Thursdays are open, Tuesdays are open as well to meet the SMEs. Thursdays are open as well to meet the SMEs. But due to the mining Indaba, which the president is going to officiate this afternoon, I will not be in the office but be at Mulungushi. So please, Mr. Chanda, come to the ministry and let us discuss this issue and correct us where we are wrong. We are here to engage with you. Okay, we want to engage with you, and you must prove us wrong, that we are not supporting you because what you're doing is the right thing. Even those that are selling chickens, they are not supposed to sell chickens. You cannot be an investor to come in the country to come and sell chickens and make Wanampundu's business chicken run at the back of a house fail to sell chickens. Because what we are seeing now is that the Chinese are selling chickens at 100 kwacha, and Wanampundu is selling chickens at 150 because of the feed that she is buying. What is the Chinese feeding those chickens for him to sell the chickens at 100 kwacha? Sorry, I'm mentioning the Chinese just for
comparison
purpose. Right. Not that they are the only ones that are doing that. But we are coming in very radical over this issue because we are here to ensure that the SMEs are having a proper business environment, and we will not allow somebody to come in as an investor who is supposed to do bigger things than what they are doing and take over the market that the locals are supposed to enjoy. On that one, we are not taking it lightly and we are taking it personal. And very soon, you will see us getting into markets and confiscating all these things that are coming from the so-called investors who are competing with the locals.
Yes, we're out of time, but very quickly, just give a few details about the National SME and Cooperatives Indaba that is scheduled for 30th and 31st of this month, just within a minute.
The Indaba was launched last year as an inaugural Indaba because we thought the SMEs do not have a proper place or a proper day to take out their grievances, their challenges, on what they're supposed to be benefiting from the ministry. So in 2024, we did have or host the inaugural Indaba of the Ministry of SMEs, that is the SMEs and the cooperatives Indaba. And we said this is going to be an annual event. So this event is basically to sit and see, in this year, we are looking at making the SMEs and the cooperatives ready for the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Now, the Zambian government is part of the African countries that are signing an agreement to see that South African made products, Zach, are coming in this country without paying anything. They must compete with the Zambian commodities. There is nothing like, no, we make handy in Zambia, we cannot buy handy from South Africa. There is nothing like that. Initially, at the moment, we could say it can be that way so that we support our locals. But you will find that even the products that the locals are producing are not good enough to beat the handy from South Africa. So what I'm trying to say here is that our SMEs in the country should stand ready to compete with any other market. So what Mr. Joseph Chanda is complaining about, it will be a normal issue. There will be nothing like complaining, no, the others are coming in to do business and we're unable to do that. The Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is allowing for that. So we need to stand ready as SMEs in the country to compete with those that are coming outside. So this Indaba is going to discuss such kind of things on the 20th, on the 30th and 31st of October. So we want all the SMEs that are listening to visit our website, go to our Facebook page. You'll find the link there on our Facebook page, instructing you to follow it and do register and come to Mulungushi International Conference Center. Equip you with information that you need. What to be able to compete competitively. And we are also into value addition to ensure that they are certified by ZABS, that anybody else can use them. They are not dangerous to human consumption or to use. Because if you do not certify your products and they do not have a Zambian flag on them, through ZABS, not through Mutelo, please go to Ministry of Commerce, through Zambia Bureau of Standards, to test your products, have your product certified. Come on the 30th October to 31st so that we teach you all these things you need to learn so that you do the right thing and be able to compete with these foreign SMEs. Now, the Indaba is not only about learning on those things. We want the SMEs also to interact, like I said, with ZABS. We want them to interact with Zachariah. We want them to interact with PACRA. We want them to understand what workers' compensation does. We want them to interact with local government on the CDF. You've heard the CDF mixed up with the CEC fund.
Right.
All those things, they need to come and understand what it is. We need them to know the products that are, or projects that are running under the ministry. We've got the Tracer project under World Bank that is running in Muchinga province. How are the SMEs in Muchinga going to benefit? Let them come and listen to this. We've got the Lobito corridor under Copper Belt and Northwestern province. There is fund for SMEs along that corridor. How are they going to benefit? They need to come and listen to all these things. We cannot manage to speak about all these things on Radio Zach. Time is not enough and time is not with us, but we would want them to always remember that when you hear an invitation by the Ministry of SME or Ministry of Commerce or whichever ministry, as long as you're an SME and this issue touches you, please run to go and listen to what the ministries are preaching to you. We cannot manage to come on the doorsteps and speak to you. The only time we have to break down what we do and what we have for you is when we call for gatherings like this. Unfortunately, we see when I come to Mulungushi, how much refund for trying to give me, like, really? So those are the problems that we've been facing, Zach. We want our SMEs to be responsible SMEs. With the small businesses that you're running, be able to travel here, come and learn, so that when you go back, you do the right thing and grow your business. We are here to help you.
Yes, thank you very much for coming.
Thank
I've
you
got
so
a
much.
message to read out to you on Facebook by Jackson Juba.
Mhm.
You really deserve that position. Keep it up.
Thank you.
2026, we should make you a minister.
Oh my God, you have me fired today.
But
Thank you
thanks
very
a lot
much,
for
Jackson.
coming, and
Thank you.
we appreciate that you did.
Thank
And
you.
all the best, Minister.
Thank you so much. Oh my
PS,
God.
rather. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it. That was our guest today on our Tuesday edition of the Burning Issue, Mrs. Subeta Mutelo. And she is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises Development. And thank you to our partner radio stations. Katete FM, thank you very much for carrying this program live. Spice FM in Kabwe and ZFM in Kapiri, we appreciate that. And Platinum Radio, we appreciate that. You are in Ndola, thank you very much. And Tuta FM, thank you. We'll definitely be coming back, God willing, again with the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. From all of us here, is take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
Tune in next week for another edition of The Burning Issue, and thank you for your participation. Democracy and freedom of expression is about tolerating the views that you don't like